Ever wonder how a massive global company, one that operates in dozens of countries with dozens of different currencies, actually knows how much money it has? It sounds like a pretty simple question, right? But the answer, well, it pulls back the curtain on the hidden plumbing of the entire global economy. And today, we're going to take a look at one of the official instruction manuals.
So this right here, this is the central problem. If your company is making euros and yen and pesos, how in the world do you create a single, clear financial report in, say, US dollars? Because I'll tell you what, you can't just Google the exchange rate and call it a day. The real process is way more strict, and for a really, really good reason.
Okay, to make this real, let's just picture a taco company. It starts in Mexico City, so it's raking in Mexican pesos. It's a huge hit, so it expands to São Paulo, Brazil, where it's now dealing in Brazilian reals. But the parent company, the big boss, is based in New York, and they need to see all the numbers in US dollars. All of a sudden, you've got a three-currency headache.
And that, right there, is the fundamental challenge for pretty much any global business. It's more than just an accounting nightmare, it's really a translation problem. How do you get all these different kinds of money to speak the same language?
I mean, you literally can't just add pesos plus reals plus dollars. The result would be total financial chaos, a completely meaningless number. To make any sense of it, you need a system, a standard. You need a common language for money that everyone, from the manager in São Paulo to the investor in New York, can understand and trust.
And this is the rulebook that creates that common language, at least for companies operating in Mexico. It's called the Norma de Información Financiera, B-15, or just NIF B-15 for short. This is the official playbook that tells you exactly how to translate all that financial noise into one single, clear story.
Now, to understand this rulebook, you have to learn its vocabulary first. The whole system is built around three key definitions of what a currency even is inside a global company. If you get these three, you'll get the whole thing. So it helps to think of these not just as types of money, but as three different roles or jobs that money can have. Understanding these roles is really the key that unlocks this whole process. First up, we've got the registry currency, or moneda de registro. This one's the most straightforward. It's the local, on-the-ground cash. For our taco shop in Mexico City, it's the Mexican peso. It's what they're using for everything local, paying their employees, buying avocados, and ringing up sales in their day-to-day books. It's the everyday language. Next is the functional currency, or moneda funcional. Now, this one's a little more subtle. It's the currency of the main economic environment where the business really lives and breathes. For our taco shop, that's still the Mexican peso. But what if that shop imported all its meat from the US and even set its prices in dollars? Then its functional currency could actually be the US dollar, even though it's physically in Mexico. The main takeaway here is, it's not about the address, it's about the economic DNA of the business.
And finally, there's the reporting currency, or moneda de informe. This is the language of the mothership. It's the one currency that's used for the final, big picture report that goes up to the headquarters and out to its investors. So for our taco empire with its New York parent company, that's the US dollar.
And hey, these aren't just some clever terms we cooked up for this explainer. They're written right here into the official document. Moneda de informe, moneda de registro, moneda funcional. Having these super precise legal definitions is what makes sure every accountant on the planet is playing by the same rules. So let's just quickly recap our taco company. The registry currency for the day-to-day stuff is the Mexican peso. Its functional currency, its main economic language, is also the peso. But the final reporting currency for the bosses in New York, that's the US dollar. That journey from local to functional to reporting, that is the whole ballgame. Okay, so we've got the three languages of money down, but how do you actually translate between them? This is where NIF B-15 gives companies a very specific playbook to follow. The conversion process itself is a pretty logical three-step journey. First, you record everything that happens day to day in the local registry currency. Then, step 2, you convert all those local books into the functional currency. This gives you a clear picture of how that one branch is really doing. And then, finally, step 3, You convert those statements into the reporting currency for the parent company. But right here, this is probably the most important rule in the entire playbook. This is the secret sauce. You see, you don't use the same exchange rate for everything. The rules make this critical distinction. Monetary stuff, like the cash you have in the bank, gets converted at the current end-of-the-day exchange rate. But non-monetary stuff, like a factory or a delivery truck you bought years ago, gets converted using the historical rate from the day you actually bought it.
Here's a simple way to picture it. The value of the actual cash sitting in a foreign bank account changes every single day with the market, so you update it to what it's worth right now. But the factory you bought 5 years ago, its cost is a fact of history. That number stays locked in time.
So why the split? Well, it's actually pretty brilliant. It's all about reflecting what's actually happening, the economic reality. The value of your cash is exposed to market risk. It's fluctuating every day. And this rule captures that. But the cost of your factory, that's a historical fact. It's set in stone. This clever little rule is designed to accurately show both of those truths on a single financial statement. Okay, I know this all seems incredibly technical. So why on earth should you care about something like NFS B-15 if you're not an accountant? Well, because these rules are a quiet but incredibly powerful force that's basically holding up our entire global economy. Seriously, think about it. These rules are what build trust. They let an investor in Tokyo look at a company in Mexico and a company in Germany and know with confidence that they're comparing apples to apples. They show a company's true financial health, and maybe most importantly, they expose how much risk it has to wild swings in currency values. All of this creates a transparency that our interconnected global economy absolutely depends on to function. And this isn't some random rogue standard. As the document itself points out, NIF B-15 is specifically designed to align with global standards. That connection is vital. It's what plugs Mexico's financial system directly into the rest of the world, making it a reliable and attractive place for global investment. So when you boil it all down, what looks like a super dry technical document is actually a critical piece of the world's financial plumbing. Without these clear, consistent rules for translating money, the kind of global trade and investment we all take for granted, it would just grind to a halt. And that brings us to one last really fascinating question. You see, these rules were all built for a world of national currencies, dollars, pesos, euros, but what happens next? In a world of crypto and truly borderless digital money, how do these rules hold up? What is the functional currency of a company that lives entirely on the blockchain? The concepts we just learned, registry, functional, reporting, are being tested right now, like never before. And the answers are going to define the next chapter in the rules of global money.